everyone, it's Teresa. How you doing today? Are you ready for some different type of embellishment play? You know I'm really good for this, right? I promise. Alright, let's play. You are going to need some molds. This is a candy mold. These are inexpensive. You can find these in Salvation Army stores, secondhand stores, whatever type of store you have. You can find these. I promise. Sorry for that in your face. You can use candy molds, ice cube trays from the dollar store. You can use whatever you have on hand, even plastic things you have around the house from your packaging materials. Yep, that's what you can use today. You're going to need a container. This is just the lid to some toothbrushes I like to clean with. And this is, I have the tip of it out in the kitchen in a little bin that I keep these in, but this is my stir stick for this, and then I use the top of it to splatter paint. I'm really weird. Multi-surface tools here. I have a bottle of water. Took the label off so I don't get in trouble for labels and things. And here is what you're going to need. Okay, are you ready? This is molding plaster. Now this says at Craft World here it was $1.59. I got this whole bag, which is 5 pounds, at a church garage sale. Yeah, I'm not kidding, a church garage sale. And it was free with another bag. And I said to the woman in the church, and I think I've even done a blog post on this, I can't take this for free. This stuff is expensive. Well, little to my imagination did I know that it's not that expensive. It not only comes in a bag, that's molding plaster, it comes like this. At your hardware store, this comes from Joann Fabrics. I used a 50% off coupon and made it $3.50. And it is 4.4 pounds. And that's a lot of plaster. Trust me. And it sets hard in 20 to 30 minutes. Okay? So this is our product we're going to use. Now, in some cases, as my molds are dirty here, from playing around out there, let's get on to the story. Sorry about that. I got distracted by the fuzzies on them. There's a piece of hair there too. This is a product they sell at Hobby Lobby. They sell at, I believe, most hardware stores. No smell whatsoever. I guarantee it. If it had a smell to it, I'd let you know. And it prevents bubbles and pinholes in plaster casting. So, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when you go up to those white Christmas ornaments that are plaster, and they're like $1.99, $2.99 a piece, you can make your own much cheaper with cookie cutters too. You just use wax paper on your cookie cutter, tape around it, and then pour your stuff in and let it dry, lift it up, and it's perfect. I have all kinds of tricks for you. Anyway, this was $2.99 at Hobby Lobby, and it takes very little, and I use it even for some of my polymer clays. And it's only to prevent the bubbles and to get it out of here easier. And the next thing you're going to want, or maybe not want, is, let's say you want to cast but you don't want to color them, you just kind of want to make your own food coloring from the dollar store. I've had this for a year and I've not used it. My dad doesn't like the taste of food coloring. He says it leaves the frosting funny tasting. And in some cases I can believe that, as I've tried to make a frosting and I tasted it and it was like, yuck, ugh. But this is just a gel food coloring. And it comes from the dollar store because it's Betty Crocker. I'm going to throw that over my corner there. It comes with blue, yellow, red, and green. And I set them to the side. We're going to have some fun now. Are you ready? Now you don't want to put any water in this container yet until you're absolutely ready to start. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of these bigger ones, get the fuzz out of there. And these are some of my new molds that I have. I haven't wiped my surface down since this happened. I've been so upset. I'm over it now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the moons too. We're going to spray these. That's it. Just one simple spray. Okay? Now they're not going to dry out at all. They're going to be like, not really oily. It's hard to explain, but they're going to leave them, well, for lack of a better word, here we go, lubricated? Yikes. You don't like moist, you're not gonna like that word. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, you're gonna take your container and you're gonna pour in however much you want, alright? I say we start with a little more than that, Teresa. Now you could make yourself a little pastry bag and pipe it in there, or you could get one of those dollar store measuring cups. I was going to say a batter bowl, but batter bowls are expensive. Anyway, you could get a measuring cup that's plastic and use it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop some little bits of food coloring in there, even though it's gel. Just shake it off. And this is just going to be red. Okay, I'm going to take some water. And I'm not worried about this. And you're going to learn by experience how much is needed, how much isn't. That's a little thick. Okay, get that out of the way here. It's been a while since I played with this stuff. And this doesn't have too bad of a flyaway for dust, I guarantee that. But what I like to do is just make sure I get in, get the lumps out the best I can. And if I feel it's too thin, I think this might be just about right, or I don't have enough color, because it made it peach, I'm just going to put in a little bit more. Now let's say you don't have food coloring, you have some paint you want to put in here. By all means, add your paint. Just adjust your water. You don't have to leave this just plain and dry. In fact, I can prove it. I have some highly pigmented fluid acrylics here. Let's put a dot in there. See what we get. $5 that comes live. See? Yeah, that's the color we're looking for. Alrighty then. Now, I don't want this too thin, so I'm going to add just a little more of this plaster. And I have to kind of move it along here. Otherwise, it'll start to set up in the container, and I don't want that. I want to put it in the container that's pretty. This helps with the mess that you're going to get. So I'm going to take the circle here and put this in my left hand. And I'm just going to pour this around nice and gently. And I'm going to take my spatula, my spoon handle, and I'm going to put this right in the center. I'm going to move it around. And you're going to want to kind of go in like this. Don't be afraid to get your hands in there. Well, since this has dye in there, I'm going to be a little bit freaky on it, but that's okay. And all you do is you wipe it off your hand. Okay. Let's say you have, wrong one, Teresa. Hold on, loves. I was prepared for this. Come on, hands. Say you have one of these from your Play-Doh section of the dollar store. You just lightly go over it, and then if you don't like the way the center is, it'll come off. And you drop it like you would your cake so it doesn't get air bubbles. Then I like to go around the edges with the baby wipe, just like that, and drop it just like that. What that's going to do is remove air bubbles, and you won't have a problem. Let's do the peace sign. Who likes peace signs? I do. Always and forever. You can do these molds with clay, which we will be doing, because I have to send some of these pretty pieces out to Phoebe and to all of Danielle, because she loves peace signs, and Heidi and all of the rest of my lovies, and Victor and all of you that love peace signs. I'm going to just send them out to you. I'm done talking about sending you stuff. I'm just going to do it now after the first of the year. So you're going to see it's a little messy. That's only because I'm slamming it down. You're going to be much neater at it than I am. And I'm not going to worry too much about this one like that, because the pieces I don't want are going to be thin enough for me to break off. Alright, so I'm going to fill the rest of these molds. And everything should release fine. If not, it's okay. We got it. I don't worry too much because all you have to do is just add a little water to things. And if I get too much in there, I just come over to the container and scrape off the top to get another baby wipe. And if you're asking if I went to the store and bought baby wipes, no, I found these, a brand new package in the back of the truck. When my dad and I travel, we like to have baby wipes on hand to wipe our hands off. So if we get hungry and he gets gas, he goes and washes his hands. I can't always get out of the truck because I'm watching whatever purchase that was big that we bought that day or whatever. So what I will do is I'll have a baby wipe, pull a bunch of them out, and wash my hands with a bunch of hand sanitizers. And I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. I wanted to wipe my hands off a little better. So I did. Now, these sometimes will take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to even a little longer if you have it thinner. And this is pretty thick, so I don't worry about this one too much. You don't have to drop it so far above like I was doing. So I'm going to just fill the next little moon face up here. There we go. He's looking pretty snazzy. Now, the reason that you're hearing things drop again, I go around if I'm adding a little bit more of this or that, is so that the, how am I trying to say this? Like with the peace sign, not all of the pieces are touching when I put the plaster in. So what I did is I just swirled it around like this. That's so that all the plaster starts to touch. And it all becomes one unit, rather than a piece of this and a piece of that. Okay? Let's continue on and have more fun. Oh, we have some pretty pretties here. Now, I will tell you that on some of the molds, excuse me, if they're itty bitty pieces, like this here, you're only going to want to do this instead of any other pieces because you will break it. It's just the way it works with the molds. Polymer clay, no. Glue, no. But this, yes, because it's delicate until it's fully cured. So we're going to do some flowers out of this pretty color. And the other suggestion that I have for you is when you go to rinse this bowl out, or your whatever you're using, this glass thing, or your mixer, your measuring cup thing. I'll get it right one of these days. I'm excited to show you this, can you tell? You're going to want to take a wet paper towel or a discarded baby wipe that you have in your stash and fully let it dry inside and then just chip it out. It'll be just fine. And then you can go to your sink and rinse it out without getting anything down your drain. Just thought I'd give you the heads up on that one. My dad, when he first saw me doing this as a kid, "You're not putting that down the drain, are you?" "Well, no, Dad, I'm rinsing it out and then doing it." He said, "Oh, okay." He says, "because this can clog." I said, "I know. I got it." He goes, "Whew, you had me worried." I'm not trying to. I'm just being Teresa here. So these are going to dry fairly quick. Well, hopefully. If I have the concoction correct. If not, we'll keep trying it. Because it's, like I said, it's been a while since I played with these. And when I take a break on the next one, I'll bring up some that I have done that are in pure white. And I'll show you the size difference. Oh, I have some big ones that I did. And I plan on sending some of those out too. But I was going to keep it a surprise. But I'm not going to keep it a surprise any longer. That would be rudeness. So now I'm going to do the hoodie. Yeah, there's a hoodie in every hoodie, isn't there? It's a body in a hoodie. Alright, there we go. And I'm looking for a peace sign mold, a little bigger than that, maybe a little smaller, as well as a hoodie mold. I saw one for resin, but it's a little hard plastic. It's not a lot of fun for me to do that. And the way that these are bubbled up on the back, I don't like. So what I do is I take a finger. So you can see it's getting firmer. and just wiggle around. Just like that. Now the bubbles will come up to the back. I don't worry about that because normally you're going to put these down on a canvas, a glass piece, or something that you're using to modify, and it won't be a problem at all, I guarantee it. I wouldn't lie to you. Goodness gracious. Let's do these homemade molds that are buttons. Let's do these. Yeah, let's do these. My weather is high in the 30s today after being -0 in the beginning of the week, and it's really hard for me to stay well. And then people are going out in the stores and they're sniffling and not covering their mouth, and my dad caught a woman today sneezing on him, and he was ready to plant a boot, but he was polite about it. I'd have said, what were you raised in a barn, you cow? Cover your mouth. I don't want your hoofing cow or whatever disease you've got, you troll. Cover it. Some people are rude out there. I think she knew she was rude. She was snickering, but it wouldn't be funny if I give her the flu and she's hacking up her lung now, would it? Because we get those here. I think it's time for a cupcake. Well, let's spritz a ditz it and see what we get. Okay. Yes, Teresa, we're listening. And Patricia, yes, I did see that I missed the pearl. That was the pearl I flung off my finger and went to the right, or the left over here. Yeah, sister, I saw it. I took that picture the same night that I filmed it. I'm thinking, there's a pearl missing. I didn't listen to myself. And I knew one of you awesome people would show it to me and go, look, did you know you missed a spot, kid? You're better than that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I got you, I know. There's a butterfly here. And you're going to notice it's going to get a little thicker. See? It's still workable. You can add a little water if it starts to dry too fast for you. But I think this is just fine. I really do. I think it's perfection. If I can tell it's starting to dry in the container, and that's alright. You don't have to move too very fast at this. You're going to get a lot of experience knowing how much to make for what size mold you have the more you do of this. And trust me, it's awesome sauce. And I'm seeing that's not blended all the way, but that's okay. There we go. Come back in and just lightly remove that. And I'm going to just go around. Okay, you see me doing it. Good. I wanted you to. Now, let's talk about some inclusions. You could add glitter. You could add the tempera powder that you could find back in the day at Hobby Lobby. You can no longer find. And it's a powder pigment, and you can add that to it. You can add anything and everything powder to this in liquid you want to give it a color. You are probably going to go for a heavier based color because it is white. Reds aren't going to be true reds. You probably have to paint, but that's okay. You're going to get a very smooth surface with the primer thing that we use, the Arrid. Other than that, you're set to go. Let's do the birdie house nest thing. House, listen to me. I'm getting a little crazy up in here. But I've been thinking about this and thinking about this, and I thought, do you think they'd want to see it? And my dad goes, yeah, they want to see it. So I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to set these aside to dry, and I'm going to show you some examples of ones that I have done. And I will be right back. Okay, this is what I have in a bin that I bought at a rummage sale that was full of stuff for $1. We won't go there, but the bin's awesome. The stuff in it was awesome too. I used some of it and put the rest in a corner to use for later. I want to show you that these are plaster pieces I made with this. Now you're probably saying, oh, but this took a lot of money. No, it didn't. I used from here to about there of plaster to make all of these. I have frames that are extremely detailed from Martha Stewart. These came from Plaid. Here's another one with the center poked out, in case I didn't want it that way. I have sunflowers. I have cogs, that I love cogs. So if you're a mixed media artist and you don't want to afford the metal because you're not going to find it again, buy the molds and then make plaster, and this will make your collages just epic. Here's another frame that I have. I'm really big into the frames for when I do tags and things, and you can put these on tags. You're just going to have to be careful when you handle them. Okay, so these are some frames, and put them down gently. And I showed you the flower. These are faces. This is a moon face. And yes, you're looking at a rest in peace. This is a candy mold. And I just went over it lightly with some gray, and then I put it in here to dry because I didn't have time for Halloween. And then this is another very thin piece that you could put on that has just some gorgeous edging to it. And we have, well, you're probably seeing the skeleton hands, so Mark Muir, this one's for you. I'm just playing with you, Mark. I'm going to do polymer clay and air dry for you as well, so you can be a little rough with your stuff, because I know you love zombies. You probably don't even watch, but that's okay. This is a heart mold. I just love it. And then I have the stars that were the molds I showed you in the beginning. And then this is, well, this is one of the little heart molds I have for resin. They work beautiful in that. And the heart I have right here, that's from the heart mold. I have cabochon centerfold. And then we have our food. So we have a watermelon, or a lemon, I believe. Then we have a leaf. What's this? I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, and here's another type of skull face. I know, you don't have to like skull face. So here's a small cabochon thingy. And then I have letters. And then I have these little pop-out dots, which are letters. The letter Z or the letter N. And then we have little scroll pieces like this that are thin, that are awesome for using in mixed media. And here's the corn on the cob. And let's see here. It's another set of flowers. Oh, and this is a butterfly. Here's the butterfly, like we casted. And then there's more, so let me see. More scrolls. Little photo corner scrolls with flowers. And then you have more corner pieces. That's a rose. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's see what else there is. So when I tell you you can do anything with anything, I'm not playing with you, kiddos. I'm serious. And here's an owl. Hooty hooty. It's a hooty hooty. Oh, it's a hooty hooty. Yeah, that's a hooty. And we did one of those tonight too. But I want to show you these down here. These came from a soap mold. Can you believe how cool that is? And yes, I made it myself. Isn't that gorgeous? You could do some very cool frames with these. And what else do I have? Oh, and the other thing I did too is I took two identical pieces, and while one was slightly wet yet, I put another piece on top and I glued them together to get a full piece on both sides. That's coolness. Here's another face. Here's another face. So I have some faces. And that's just a button thing. It says, oh, and this is cherries. Weird mold, I know. And this is like another, not a cabochon, but like a corner piece. And I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm crazy, but these are little purses. I love little purses. And I was in the process of filing this one down. I like little handbags, but I was going to put, I broke the handle on it. And I thought, well, I'd like that just for a vase. So I was going to do a vase with it, and I plan on it yet. So don't you worry. Oh, look, I got all kinds down here, too. Here's a bigger butterfly, if you couldn't see the other one. So I have purses like this. And put these down here. I put my bigger pieces down here on the side. And sometimes I leave some of them up here, but I have to be a little careful as some of these are pretty thin. Doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't. Push these aside. Now these I did not make. I'm first to tell you I didn't make those. But the shoe, yes, I have a mold for the shoe. So you could do little wall art for little girls or even grown women that are fashion divas, and you would just be set for life. Let's see what else I have. Oh, and I have an angel mold too that I made this out of. Just plaster pieces. So when I show you things, I do things so that not only does it work with polymer clay, air dry clay, make it yourself clay, it works with plaster as well. I haven't found anything else to put in them, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to experiment and we will do it. But this is a rose. A fleur de lis. And here's another shoe. Any shoe lovies out there? Has another shoe, which is the same as the one I did for the shadow box. Hearts, little stars, another face, another moon face. All just kinds of cool things. And then there's a little one. So you could really be your own monster if you wanted to and just go to town with inexpensive supplies and buy really good molds. Really good molds come from the dollar store. You can buy them from Walmart, which I've done. You can buy them from Michael's. Oh look, for those that are doing the art quest with cinnamon, here's the pair. I'll send that to one of hers. I have the address to some of them. Oh, and here's a skeleton body. Mark, this is you. And then we have, you know, all kinds of things. There's sunflowers, there's little hands. There's a sandal. What, Teresa? I think I was thinking of summer when I did this, when I was in summer, but that's a little sandal. I just have a lot of fun with a lot of inexpensive materials, and I've tried to explain it, and I'm going to keep explaining it to you, loves. The expensive art I do on my own, I won't bring that to you. It's not fair if you can't find it. If you can't afford it, why do it in front of you? It hurts your feelings and it hurts mine, because when I used to watch bigger channels like that, I couldn't afford it. And now that I'm slowly building and all of my lovies are sending me epic happy mails, I'm able to do more for everybody. Even for the one who sent me the epic happy mails. You know who you are. You don't have to send me anything to receive either. So don't even think about it. I have a big heart and I love to give to all of you because you give to me. It takes time for me though. Boy, is it taking time. But anyway, I just wanted you to see that when I do a bunch of these, I do a lot of them at one time, and if they break, I keep them anyway, and I use them in creative ways. That was my fault, by the way. I got a little rough with the mold. But an inexpensive nail file and a little bit of scissor trimming or whatever you have will do just fine. Here's a foot. Yep, I got your back on this. This is fun. And they're going to go to some of your pieces on the wall and want to touch it. And if these were, I don't know, glass or something else, you know, you'd be scared. But you could put these in your window. You can make magnets. You do anything you want with them. And there's a way to weatherproof these too. And I think they have an exterior kind as well, but these are interior. Put some fade-proof paint on them and you're set to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these other ones dry for a little bit, and I'll be right back when those are ready to be popped out, and we'll pop them out together. Okay? I'll be right back when that's ready. Okay, everyone, let's do some undoing of these. Now, when you feel these, you're going to feel they're really cold. It's a sign that they're somewhat cured and somewhat not cured. Now, the thicker your mold is going to be, the more time it's going to take. So I'm going to just try it, see how I broke it. That one's not ready, but that's okay. See? That's my fault. So what I would have done better is I would have waited, because you can tell that it's not dry. It really isn't. So don't worry about that. That'll be a redo. And you can always crumble these back up to a powder in a bag and then use it as a powdered pigment too if you get upset that you break them. Some of these are really delicate. Some kind of aren't. See how that's not really delicate? But he turned out beautiful in his coloring. There's no real blemish to him. He's not going to take a whole lot of work. Absolutely fun. Now, the peace sign I plan on redoing. I knew I did a boo-boo with that. That's the first one I believe I cast. That's alright. And I get a little rough with some of my stuff, which we know. So this is the other little moon guy. Color is really off on it. Okay, that was fun. We had a boo-boo, but that's okay. It's human. We do that here. Let's try another one of these. Now, I know I'm probably going to pull this the wrong way. I did get really rough. See, I'm doing it again. You can't bend these like I'm doing, so that's okay. I'll grind it up and use that in powder. Let's try another. Yep, I did it again. It's my fault on these because these are thick. Do you see how thick these are? And that shows you how they're still wet. See how my finger's coated? That's called impatience. So it's not going to go to waste. Like I said, I will grind it up in a baggie, take a hammer to it, have fun making noise. So that doesn't upset me because I'll recast. We could try this one, but I know this one's going to break too, because these are thicker molds than these are. It's even thicker than the face mold, believe it or not. Let's try to be... See, I knew I was going to break that one too. But you can see you're going to get details, so that goes in a baggie to be ground up for later. Okay, let's try these. The rose turned out perfect. The rose turned out perfect. The sunflower turned out perfect. And that one turned out perfect as well. Then all you do is, if you have a metallic luster or a metallic rub, you just rub gently over the top and they're pretty much done. I'm not upset. I knew it was going to happen because I've not used these molds before, and I think when I put the first plaster in here, I put a little bit of plaster in. And that's okay. That happens. I'm not worried about it. Okay, here we go on this. And that's a heart. Pretty cool, huh? These are homemade from a button bag from Michael's. I had a lot of fun making those. There's another one. Oh, this is just uber detailed. Do you see that? Absolutely perfect. Let's do this one. Look at that. Now, I didn't get it all the way in there, but I like that. You can put a little bird there. Look at the little legs inside. Isn't that cute? Hootie's out already. He wanted to come out and play quick. See the Hootie? This is fun, friends, and like I said, you're going to take your time, let these dry the proper amount of time. Sometimes I let them dry overnight for 24 hours, and I will with these when I redo them. Here's a little butterfly. There's the butterfly. Now I know he's not cured all the way because he's pretty cold. So that's all you do really, is just do that like that. Pretty neat, huh? We have one more to undo. Can we do it? And there's your cupcake. See how adorable it is? Pennies, friends, pennies to embellish your stuff. Doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't. And I believe I'm really firm on the frugal end of life here when I tell you it does not take a lot to make awesome. It just takes awesome to make little bits. So you're awesome. You better get started. I'm just playing. Crumbs I don't waste either. That's color. We don't waste nothing here. So let's say this were dry. I'd be in here just doing this after it's dry, but you can see it's not because it's really wet. So I would be in here later after I pull that after they dry, probably tomorrow, and I will be grinding them up. But we're going to be doing some projects with these, and then there are going to be some lovey subbies who receive some of these, and I know your colors, so I won't give you colors you don't like. But I'm just, oh, I'm telling you, I am fascinated by these. Yep. Now, he's not fully dry yet either. I can tell by the way some of it is. I'm going to let him dry with his face up. Same with this one. Dry face up. And I just wanted to share some inexpensive embellishments for you. There are people who are standing outside my window tonight having a meltdown and talking. I apologize if you hear the morons. Can't get rid of them. The police are weak. Bless may be in your life. Bless may be on your journey. And thank you for blessing me with your presence, friends. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. It's been a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay cool, stay relaxed, stay warm, and stay you. Much love and many hugs. I will see you. Believe it or not, I'll see you tomorrow. I have Happy Meals. 2 big epic ones. Stay safe and good night, friends. Bye for now.